One of the central questions we face in life is whether we should act primarily out of self-interest or whether we should allow broader values to govern our decisions. Should we do things, even good things, because they provide us some benefit, or should we do them for perhaps more altruistic reasons? And this is a big challenge because, as we hear in the Broadway hit Avenue Q, when you help others, you can't help helping yourself. Many of us give, for example, to charity because it helps us feel good or it provides us with tax benefits. Is that wrong? Should we do it because it's the right thing to do and not because it provides us some tangible benefit? So our Torah portion this week, Parshat Behar B'chukotai, offers us some guidance on that challenging question. The Torah portion opens by teaching the laws of the Shemitah, the sabbatical year for the land. For 6 years, the farmer in the land of Israel was supposed to plant and grow and harvest crops in his or her farm. But on the 7th year, every 7th year, that farmer was supposed to let the land lie fallow, to give it a Shabbat, to give it a rest. Torah teaches, Daber b'nei Yisrael va'amarta lehem, ki tavo el ha'aretz asher ani noten lachem, v'shavta ha'aretz Shabbat l'Adonai. Speak to the children of Israel and say to them that when you come to the land that I am giving you, you should let the land rest. It should be a rest for God. Now, an obvious question, I think, about that verse is, why does the verse close with Shabbat l'Adonai, saying that the Shemitah year, the sabbatical for the land, is a Shabbat for God? Why doesn't it close by saying it should be a Shabbat for the land, or a Shabbat for you, a rest for you, or a rest for the land? A great Hasidic master, Rabbi Levi Yitzchak of Berdichev, otherwise known as the Kedushat Levi, offers an extraordinary interpretation of that verse. He says the following, Ki derech ha'olam lachrosh sadesh shana achad, ulaniach bor shana shenit, kedei sheyeh yafeh lehotzi zera. It's the way of the world. It's human nature. It's common sense to plant the field one year, to plow the field one year, and let it lie fallow the next year. If you let the land rest periodically, say once every 7 years, then it will better be able to produce crops in perpetuity. So the Kedushat Levi says it's for that reason that the verse comes to teach that it is a Sabbath for God. So as to teach us that when it is time to let the land lie fallow, we do it because it's a command of God and not because it's good for the land. Self-interest ought not be the only thing governing our decisions. Because when that self-interest is removed, when, say, we discover a new way to allow soil to replenish without letting the land lie fallow, then the practice will go away. But here, I think, the practice is more valuable than just the practical element of letting the land lie fallow so we can harvest better crops. The Torah comes a little bit later to teach that Shemitah reminds us that the earth belongs to God and not ultimately to us. And that bears with it a tremendous amount of responsibility that we have not to abuse the world because it is not our property. Everything that we do has greater impact than just me or you. Everything that we do has ripples throughout time and space. And so that means that we ought to be governed not only by what's good for me. And so the Torah comes to teach us that Shemitah is not something that we do for us. It's something that we do for God. And in that way, even if it stops working for us, even if we find a better system to let the land lie fallow, we keep on doing it because it perpetuates the value that's inherent in the practice. And so too just about everything else we do. The question we ought to be asking is, not only is this good for me, can this be good for my children, my grandchildren, everyone else in the world, for God, for infinity and down into the ages? Shabbat Shalom.
אני לי וכשאני לעצמי מה אני ואם לא עכשיו מתי אני לי וכשאני לעצמי מה אני